He likes his friends.
But between the two is what I'm saying.
I think that you get the sense that if he absolutely had to choose, he would choose himself over his friends.
Like himself dying? Just to
Oh
make
no,
sure I
I'm
know.
sorry. His safety over his friends. Like
Okay.
he would tell
You
them.
can see Twang just kind of like taking this. Well, by the way, just so everyone knows, I'm still holding the chair above the stairs. You can like see Twang like mulling this over in his head, realizing that, going, okay. As I let go of the chair and let it start to fall backwards.
So before you do, like as you're mulling it over, he looks at Sid and he kind of sees where the tusk got you, that dropped you,
Mhm.
and like the cogs are turning in Twang's mind, and he looks at you at your wound, and then looks up at you, and he says, "Oh, he got you, didn't he? Ah, he got you. Full moon tonight, buddy." And that's, I think, is when the chairs let go.
Twang lets him fall.
Yeah.
And I'm just gonna watch him like bounce his sorry tied up ass down the stairs, and I'm gonna slowly walk after it, and I say, Twang, you seem like a good kid. I promise I'll give you a chance to talk to people before it comes to this. But right now, I need to be alone. Is that okay?
I don't answer. I just kind of walk away.
You walk away. All right, I'm cool with that too. And I close the fucking cellar and I lock it.
Sid, before he closes the cellar, I go make sure to ask him about this, and I'll throw the scroll case at him.
I'll catch it and I'll lock the cellar and I'll slowly waltz my ass down there and look at him on the ground
Hmm.
and I'll pick him up and I'll drag him to the center of the cellar.
Hmm.
Um, and I'll say, yeah, he did get me, but now I've got you. And that's really where your mind should be at right now. So let's focus on this. And I am going to, whew, and I am going to, he sees my eyes roll back in my head, and this like light of like black and almost purplish like cosmic stardust speckled with stars inside my eyes, and I put my right under his eye and grab the side of his head, and he hears my voice, and he also hears like a deeper, strange alien eldritch voice say in common, um, uh, now are you going to tell me everything I want to know? And it's just this like echoing layer of shit. And as I finish talking in common, both me and the telepathic voice are going to like have these like muttered whispers in deep speech, which I speak as well.
There is no reality in which this dude is not sufficiently intimidated into telling you the truth, the whole truth, and nothing but the truth. That like shakes this dude to his core, and he's just like, he doesn't say any words. He's just like,
All right. I see I see we have an understanding about what our mutual best interests. So, question number 1. And I pull out a map that looks hand drawn, actually, a map, and it's just kind of a page in a notebook. Um, but it's a map of like the local region and area. And I say, mark on this right now where your your home base is, where the rest of your party is. And I'm gonna go upstairs and I'm going to speak to one of the others that I left alive. And if they don't line up, I'm gonna kill one of you, and it's gonna be a fucking coin flip which one. So make sure that both of these marks align, and I'm gonna hold the map in front of him.
yeah. He with his hands bound, he just kind of leans forward and taps with his
I'm gonna
nose.
like stick a pen in his mouth. Like I'm
Uh,
gonna stick a pen in
okay,
his mouth and hold the book up close,
gotcha.
and he
There's a
had better fucking hope he's good enough to
there's
like.
a scratchy X mark to the north of where you're at. Um, It's about it. Like if you left now, you should be able to get there by nightfall.
Okay. I'm gonna look at it and then put that away and take the pen out of his mouth. Now, what's guarding this place?
What's what?
What's guarding this place? And I'm still saying all of this with my creepy eyes and my fucked up voice.
He says, what do you mean?
I'm saying, I'm asking. Matt doesn't know how to interrogate people, but Sid definitely would. And, I'm basically trying to get the gist of, like, are there traps? Are there, like,
Oh, for I
patrol?
gotcha.
Yeah.
He says there's
Oh, you're so loving. I love you.
there's a patrol. There's usually that just kind of circles around the camp. Most of them would probably be gone right now. They're supposed to intercept somebody on the river. Yeah, not much traps. We just try and stay alert. And I mean, anybody who Turk is not the only one who can do what he did. So if anybody comes to camp, most of the time they don't leave.
I'm gonna like take a step back from him and take my hand off his eye for a second where I'd been like applying pressure and just using prestidigitation do like a little bit of sparkle in the air in like a circle and be like, oh yes, there's the tiger, isn't there? And kind of go through, tell me about him.
Gotcha. Before I answer that question, to everybody else, I don't want just for us to be sitting around. Is there anything that you guys wanted to do in this time?
I was going to ask Twang can play some loud music to possibly drown out whatever was going on in the cellar.
You kind of see Twang just kind of sitting at the bar, a little downtrodden as he just kind of, I don't want to play music right now.
Oh, poor
Can you
Twang.
clang some bottles together or something? I'm going to go ahead and turn to Alec and kind of addressing the mayor and Twang as well. Have any of you seen something like that, like what we saw out on the street? A man turn into a boar?
I lived in a library. Would I know anything about like where creatures, like obviously legends and whatnot, but
Roll history with advantage.
I'm going to claim ignorance on it because my studies were mostly of the undead and stuff. So
18.
18. With an 18, there have been like reports of similar things, of people turning into beasts or people turning into beast hybrids. A lot of the like stories that you've come across have been fairly inconsistent. Although I think, yeah, what you would know if this is like the common threads throughout are most of the time it's referred to as a curse. Most of the time people live in seclusion or just away from society, and it would take very powerful divine magic to remove that curse from you.
I relay this to the group and I look to Reese and I say, Reese, would it be, I don't know, possible in any way to call upon your brethren to get somebody more, no offense, of course, but we all kind of have seen what we can do, but someone more powerful or more knowledgeable, if there is a tiger. It just seems like something that, without the proper equipment or knowledge, that we are unequipped to deal with.
well, that's why I was asking, because Sid said that we can only fight it with magic and not our regular weapons. So that has me concerned if we're to find ourselves in combat again. I mean, I'm not familiar with how your magic works, but at one point I will be. Mine is cyclical. I will have stronger magics at the beginning of the day, and I'll run out by the end of the day.
Yeah, basically, I hold magics in my mind, and it takes a toll on my body, especially when I use certain schools of magic.
Yeah.
And it becomes very tiring very fast with my manipulation over time because it feels like I slow time, but time for me does not slow down.
Right. I'll go ahead and turn to the mayor, with Alec having said that. And actually, I'll turn to Twang first and ask him if his magic works the same way as ours does, if his pool is limited as ours is.
Um, I play music, and sometimes it does things, and sometimes it doesn't. I notice that it usually does things early, like the first time I play a song, but as I keep playing it, it stops doing it.
Ah, okay.
I will add this as well. Part of the reason, I'll be perfectly frank, in vino veritas and all that, but if we manage to get into, and I point like really finger really close to the mayor's face, your library, in that, I had to look over at Ames, haunted home of yours, then perhaps hiccup, I can increase my power and my, let's say, pool of magic.
Yeah, that was my next line of questioning towards the mayor is what in his manner would be useful to us.
Okay. Let me switch back to Sid, and then we can talk about that in a
At this
second. I
point,
also want to watch the clock.
A little whiskey into his eyes.
What's up?
At this point, I'm pouring like a little bit of the whiskey into his eyes.
Oh, fuck. He's like, burns. He can't wipe it away either. Yeah, okay, all right, okay. The tiger, fuck.
Just setting the scene.
Well, there's two, right? There's Portia, who
Mhm.
is our leader, and her brother. Yeah, they both can turn into those tiger beasts. And
So this,
not
Alright.
with.
can I say something to Matt real quick?
Yeah,
Like
what's up?
out of character. So my background, I was trained as an interrogator in the army. So one thing that you want to do is anytime a proper noun is introduced in a sentence by somebody you're interrogating, you want to ask every single who, what, when, where, and why on that proper noun. It's called drilling down on a topic. So that's Army Interrogation School 101.
Nice.
To help
Hell
Sid,
yeah.
because I imagine that Sid would have more of that knowledge. Alec's not there to like apply some of that, and probably wouldn't have as much of that knowledge anyways. So
Yeah.
that's my gift to you.
Sweet.
Sid, I appreciate that because Sid has worked crews before. Sid has gotten lightly involved in some like organized crime shit before. Sid, this is Sid's background. Yeah, so I would. What's first off? What's the name of the brother? Portia and the brother.
Gaius.
Gaius. Portia and Gaius. You mentioned a river earlier. I want to. And I'm kind of just doing this out of character because
That's fine.
for time.
That's fine.
I want to know what are they intercepting on the river, and how soon do you think they'll be back?
They should be back by tonight. They're just intercepting some of the Duke's men, and a holy man, I think, was supposed to be coming with him.
A holy man? Like,
Yeah.
is it a specific target, or is this a standardized thing like the collection on the town?
He doesn't know. I don't know. They got word. I think Portia got word, and she gave the order, and people don't. It usually doesn't go well for people when they question Portia's orders.
Okay. So the holy man, the Duke's men on the river, they'll be back tonight. There's Portia and Gaius. They're both half orcs. And werefighters.
Gaius does not stay at the bandit camp.
Gaius does not stay at the camp.
No.
Okay. All right. Why doesn't he stay at the camp?
He's got some other job to do.
Some other job to do. Have you ever
Yeah.
worked with him before?
No, he's come by sometimes, but usually he just goes in to see Portia, and they talk in her tent, and then he leaves.
So why now? Why are they working together now?
I mean, they usually work together.
I mean,
I-
okay. Um. All right.
They might be working for the same person, I think. He says.
Have
He's
you
not
ever
really
met
sure.
that person?
No.
No. Um. Okay. And trying to think if there's like a couple of small things. How many people? How many people on the patrol? Like 2, 3,
At a time, usually, yeah.
2, 3 at a time. Okay. Um. And how long do they normally wait before? Um. Like they're how long would they wait before beginning to worry about like, hey, where is Turk and his crew at? Like, do they have like a standard, or is it just kind of an informal thing?
So I would imagine that Gaius would be the first. He's probably already worried. Because we were supposed to retrieve something and give it to him through that tube. You brought it down, right? The scroll case?
Yes.
Yeah. We were supposed to retrieve something and send it back to him through that. If he doesn't get it, I don't know what's gonna happen.
Okay.
Oh,
All right.
oh.
I have thoughts on that, but I'm not going to share them with this guy. And I'm going to ask him, does he know what the scroll is? Does he know why Gaius wants it? Does he know, is Gaius hired, or is he specifically after this? Like, is there...
Gaius was supposed to get it yesterday, I think, and he failed for whatever reason, and so because we were coming to town anyway, he asked his sister to send more of us today to make sure that we got it.
Okay, so this crew isn't specifically involved with the scroll. They were just kind of nearby allies.
Yes.
All right, and then I'm going to ask him, does he know anything about the man in the black cloak?
Just that his word seems to be law. Whatever he says goes. Portia lays it down, and she has never when she gets a directive, when there's something that she's supposed to do, she never goes back on it, and we're not allowed to either.
On the man in the black cloak?
Yeah. So this is stuff that he kind of figures, because she will go in and she'll go into her tent, somehow communicate with him, come out and say, this is what we need to do.
Okay. All right.
Yeah.
So the...
Oh, I'm sorry. This is I thought you were asking about the guy that she worked for. The man in the black cloak, the guy who had the thing on him.
Uh-huh.
This guy has no idea who that was. Just that he was supposed to have this scroll on him. He's heard it referred to as a map. So he's supposed to have he's supposed to have some map.
Okay. I'm gonna ask him if Gaius has any like magical abilities outside of shapeshifting.
Gaius?
Yes.
Not that he knows. No.
Not that he knows. No. Okay. Um.
Where along the river is the ambush happening on the Duke's men, and how many men are on the ambush?
Yeah. If anybody else wants to, also, we can kind of like meta this, because this is information that will be useful to everybody. But we're going to assume that Sid has this information, and he can choose whether or not to share it. The ambush is happening north of the camp. Maybe another like half day's walk past the camp. What was the question? Sorry.
How many bandits are participating in that ambush?
A dozen.
And how many would they leave behind at the camp?
Another half dozen.
Okay. Does anyone else have any questions that seem obvious, like that Sid would obviously ask, but Matt is
Have they
missing?
been working with anybody in the village?
Have they been working with anybody in the village?
No.
Okay.
No. I mean, like the mayor to like arrange things, but
Yeah.
other than that, no. They don't have any alliances.
And my insight check earlier said that like this guy would kill anyone who got in his way.
Hurt anyone who got in his way. He tries not to kill. Like to him, it's as violent as I need to be as the situation demands for me to get the outcome that I want. Right?
But
So like if I don't have if I can get what I want without killing, then I won't kill.
But if the only way to get the outcome that he wanted would be to kill somebody who did not deserve it, would he do that?
I think he said he would say he'd have to think about it. He would like to say that he wouldn't, but he probably would.
Kill him.
Sid's about to kill him.
Oh shit.
And then he kind of thinks about like what Reese said. And then I think he'd cut out his tongue.
Oh no!
I think Sid's mindset right now is I can't risk him saying anything about my whole like deep speech magical telepathy bullshit. Like I'm not gonna risk that ever, period. But if there is a chance for this guy to be redeemed, this is a fair line for him to walk. He can, he can make a new life, he can be a better person, but he's not gonna get away scot-free. And I think that's Sid's tough love kind of attitude towards this situation.
Before you do that, you should probably ask if he can read and write.
Can he read and write?
He cannot.
Oh, okay.
Okay.
Sucks.
All right. I don't know what I'll do with that information, but he definitely can't talk now.
Well,
So-
the answer is he can't write down the bullshit.
Oh, that's a great point. Yeah, no, that's excellent. Okay, so I'll cut out his tongue and stuff a rag in his mouth to kind of like stop the blood and feed the tongue to if there are any rats that I left alive, which are doubtful. And then I'll go upstairs and no. First, I'm gonna prestidigitate myself to be clean, and then I'm gonna go upstairs and show everybody the map and the ambush, and I will tell them everything relating to the task at hand and nothing relating to the scroll or the guy who dropped the scroll. I will tell them there are Portia and Gaius. I will tell them that there are were-tigers, and I will tell them everything that would be relevant in a combat sense, but I will not tell them that Gaius is after this scroll or that he... I won't tell everyone. I will take Alec off to the side, and I'll be like, hey, do you... Look, I've met a few, fucking mages or whatever. I don't know what your preferred pronouns are, but fucking listen. If you can, do you have any way to make like an illusion that would buy us a little bit of time, and like attach it to an object or something?
Alec holds up his hand, and in it appears just like the only thing he has right now is prestidigitation, a little sigil that's like just this. It's just a swallow with a lightning bolt on the background.
Okay. All right. Okay. I'll something a bit more long term than that.
I will say I immediately regret getting as drunk as I am because I think we need reinforcements and I think we need to stop that ambush.
You know what? Everyone needs a drink every once in a while. Just fucking live and let live. Whatever. I'm gonna gather everybody and kind of give the lowdown, and I'm gonna say, okay, so our options right now seem to be these two things. Number one, we can, well, three things. We can go to their base and try to take on the people in their base and then hole up there. And I'll give the numbers. And so there's like 6 in the base now, 12 on the ambush, and the 12 should be back tonight. So we should be meeting the 12 tonight. So that we would have to go extra fast. It would be extra risky, and we may get into shit that we may not be ready to handle again. Option 2 is that we can go and camp outside the night. Fuck. Okay. Fuck. You better go outside tonight, and we could camp outside their base, and wait for them all to come back, get ourselves arrested, and then ambush them the following morning. That's option 2. Or option 3 is we stay here and deal with some shit in the town. Hopefully we get a little bit stronger, get a little bit more capable of dealing with this, and then try to meet them halfway. And if we meet them halfway, they're going to know we're coming, but hopefully we'll be better equipped to handle it. Because I'm going to be frank with you guys, I don't think we can deal with 20 people, including 2 fucking weretigers tonight.
To the mayor, and I say, man, do you have any messengers, any couriers? Somebody small who we could put on a fucking horse?
Yeah. What do you need?
Your Duke is sending aid finally, and you seem really unworried about the fact that they are going to be ambushed within hours.
So I didn't know if this conversation was happening in front of the mayor or not.
No.
Okay.
No, I would definitely be like, this is a tactical meeting. I don't want anyone.
Okay. In that case, I'll say to Sid and Reese then, and Twang. I'm not going to exclude Twang just because you might not understand. I say, gentlemen, I believe that we need to get a courier to the Duke's men now. They cannot be ambushed. They are, I am almost certain, unprepared to deal with. Yes, Twang.
I expected you to not see me for a while, like usual. I apologize.
Observant.
Actually, this isn't directly towards your thing. It was towards the plans in general by Sid. Those are Sid. I just kind of like looks, kind of give him a stink eye, like. I think Sid's plans are bad.
Me too. Waiting to ambush 18 people and 2 weretigers is shit. Sid, I love your heart, and I love how willing you are to kill people.
I'm not particularly fond of these things myself. I'm just saying, right now, unless we change the situation, that's what our options look like, and they're pretty shit. I'm not denying that. I'm just saying this is what's kind of stable.
How quickly will retribution fall here?
Today. It's going to, Reese. It's going to.
As I had 5 minutes.
Yeah. Have you ever seen nobles get angry at each other and then have their actual soldiers in nice shiny armor like yours go and kill and rape their peasants?
Unfortunately, I have seen that.
It's absolutely fucking atrocious. You think that these bandits are going to be aware that there's such concepts as honor? Truly,
I understand that. How long do we have to possibly counter their attack or set a defense? Or
so there's an ambush going down tonight. Most of their forces are going to be gone. They're going to get back to their base by tonight. It'll take them maybe half a day's walk, or maybe a day's ride, or what am I fucking saying? Half a day's ride or a day's walk to get to us. So if they immediately realize what's wrong, which they probably have, and they get home immediately and are able to mobilize within an hour, then worst case scenario, they're here tomorrow morning. We've got one night to fucking deal with this shit.
I have a question. Not really a question. I have a plan. They were going to get the scroll, but we don't have the scroll. What if we send them a fake scroll and act like the dead people ran off with the real one?
I mean, that's what I was kind of hoping for with, I was hoping Alec could, make some kind of illusion that would stick to a piece of paper and then we just...
I don't need an illusion for that, my friend. And he just starts, he just, grabs his satchel and just, like an old lady with her purse, starts dumping all of his forgery supplies on the bar or on their table, wherever they are. And he starts arranging stuff. He's like, see, this is a letter that I wrote to get free books.
Yeah,
You made a library card?
Yeah, basically.
What did I get mixed up in?
I was going. Okay, I know, Reese. I know. I was going to return it. I just need to learn how to make some potions and things. And 25 silver for a book? That's a crime. Books should be free.
Alec,
I love
can
libraries.
You roll a d20 for me?
Yeah. Here, I'll get my tequila sunrise d20.
So
It's nice. It's
nice.
Oh.
Because we're running out of time, we do this and then
15.
how do we feel about starting the next session, planning out what we're going to do, and then executing that?
Okay.
Sounds great.
Yeah, that's
Sweet.
fine.
Cool. Awesome.
Do you mind if we out of session Discord chat?
Oh,
Like kind of
please.
plan it?
Also, because of things, who's got the scroll case?
I
Me.
tossed it to
Awesome. I might be sending you some things, and then you can decide whether or not to share it with the group, and you guys all can discuss over Discord. If you guys want, actually, yeah, if like you can come up with a plan over Discord over the next week, then we can execute right when we get back. Yeah, sweet. The other thing is, you guys did fantastically and all stayed alive. You have earned yourself a level up. Level ups happen at a long rest. So long as you guys are resting before doing anything, then you guys can reap the benefits of that. If you're like heading out right from here, because it is the morning, if you guys are heading out right from here, then you would not get the benefit of that level up.
Okay.
Oh, I got questions for you about that too, in regards to wizard spells and shit as well, and how wizards learn spells and stuff.
Yeah, we can do all of that stuff over Discord.
Okay, sounds good.
Reese, I need to have a one-on-one with you
Okay.
about some shit.
I was gonna ask if I needed to go in the cellar and help that guy, but okay.
No, you don't have to worry about him.
Feedback?
Yeah, feedback. Jesus, thank you.
I thought it was great. I thought that
was a great session.
I loved some of the interactions that more people had. I loved Twang. He was such a positive influence.
Yeah.
And I'll just say this, I wrote a character into Alec's backstory that was like Alec's moral compass as like a kid growing up and like being kind of not a hoodlum, but just like somebody who was on the outskirts of noble society enough to get away with shit. And this person like kept him in line, and Reese is basically like the exact same person almost. And I'll say that's the only reason is like this is something you did all on your own, Scott, is like that's the only reason why Alec is like giving two shits about what Reese says.
Yeah, that's awesome.
It reminds him of
Good deal.
Yeah. I think you guys did beautifully. I think that you fought tactically, and that, at least for me, was a lot of fun to see how you were going to get out of that, because I honestly did not know. I think one thing that I want to be careful of is making sure that people don't just feel like they're sitting around. Yeah, so if like avoiding those like one person scenes as much as possible, or finding ways that everybody can contribute. Like I think I liked it when we switched from the interrogation being just that one-on-one scene to like anybody can ask a question,
Yeah.
um, sort of
Yeah.
things like that. Like if the narrative dictates that we must have a one-on-one scene, I think that we should zoom out so that everybody can be a part of it in some
Right.
way.
I
But
agree.
I also kind of like the mechanics where it's kind of understood that Sid and on a somewhat another level, Alec will work, let's say, outside of Reese's knowledge. And I'm okay with that, really. Like, whatever happened in the cellar, just don't kill the guy. You know, I know that, you know, I've figured it out, you know,
Yeah.
where we fit in with each other, I believe.
Yeah. Nice.
So,
I
I like that mechanic.
Yeah, no, I think that made for a better experience because um Sid would want to be alone, but like Matt understands this is a group game, and like I really want and I am not going to think of every good question to ask, and so I like a lot more. I think it gives our characters more freedom to like focus on the shit they specialize in, and that like going forward, we're going to see a lot of cool moments come out of that, where we still get to kind of have everybody involved. So I think that's a great idea.
We just get into one with one. Everyone gets a turn playing Sid. It's gonna be great, guys.
Oh man.
No, I thought it was great, and I think that even with that one-on-one scene, I think like part of me, we kind of stacked the timeline of like the two different scenes happening at the same time. Had Alec just been like sitting up in the bar, like just drinking and not anything else really going on, he would have. I was like, he would have been like sending messages to Sid, being like, "You down there? What you doing?" Just like drunk, just like drunk texting him for information about what was going on.
Hey, Sid,
Drunk
what you
Hey,
doing to him? What you
New
doing to him
telepathy.
now?
you up?
yeah. Hey, did you kill him? I'm really regretting sending you down there with that dagger.
Oh man. Awesome.
I
Yeah, but that
miss
was
Sid.
a lot of fun. You guys absolutely rock. Thank you guys for bringing your A
Thank
game
you.
every week.
Absolutely.
Absolutely. All right.
Absolutely.
I had a
There, I said
suggestion
it to
for
you.
you, Chris, as DM.
Mhm.
One thing that I do when it comes to like decision time towards the end of the session, rather than having it drag on, sometimes like you said, like skip it, let's take care of it at the beginning of next session,
Mhm.
or over Discord, is I have a in character chat underneath one of the channel headings, like gameplay, that I didn't add in earlier because you know every DM has his own way of playing, and I didn't want to like force that or anything.
Yeah.
But I find it a really fun way to interact in character, and usually I use it in my campaign. I like only the DM gets to activate in character chat, and they like set the scene,
Hmm.
and then they give like the parameters of what can be talked about. So usually I have it as like a campfire chat for characters to like, especially for new role players, to kind of get in it without the pressure of like giving everybody as much of a turn, because it gives everybody kind of a chance to speak over text.
Yeah.
And then every once in a while, if there's like an important decision to be made, but like it's kind of clunky to have like that tactics talk that lasts forever and everybody
Yeah. Yeah.
said ideas, I have that in there. That way, if people have time over the course of the week, they can just be like, oh, bop, 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 here's a message with my idea, and
Yeah.
then other people can respond as they see fit.
Sweet. I
I
think
will
that's
warn
a
you.
fantastic idea. What's up?
I will warn you if you do that. I will absolutely use that just to talk about the dumbest shit Twink does.
That's fine.
I mean, that's
That's
fine, man.
part of it. It's supposed to
Yeah.
not be a thing that's like all like heavy character. Like I had a group once who was like, okay, so how are we gonna kill? Like, how are we gonna
Yeah.
take care of the main plot problems? And I'm like, let's not do that. I don't
Right.
because
Yeah. But I think you're right. Like this session and last session, the last good chunk of it was just,
Yeah.
hey, what are we going to do about this problem? And I think yes, so long as everyone is cool with it and this works for everybody, I think we could probably transition that part into Discord so we can end on action and then get ready for the next week throughout the week.
Yep.
I'm down.
Chris, are you cool with me and Scott playing out that interaction kind of in character on our own time?
Which interaction?
The one that has to do with the last, um, with the sweating.
Oh yeah, hell yeah. If I would just, I would love to. So either if you could like record that and send it to me, or if you could give me a rundown of like what happens in that interaction, just so I
Yeah.
know and can incorporate it into the story going forward. That would be
Okay.
fantastic. But yeah, like absolutely, I think that would be a lot of fun.
Could we
Great.
set up a channel on the Discord and we just can kind of like play by post a little bit? Would that
Yeah.
work?
Okay, well, that would just be the thing he was talking about earlier.
Yeah,
so
we
yeah,
could.
we
Yeah,
can
we
just
could do that. And
there.
yeah, I mean, we all have been DMs and we've all been players. I think that
Yeah.
like when it comes to meta knowledge, like in my notes, I have things in red which Alec doesn't know, and I have things in blue which are Alec isn't sure if he knows, and then everything written in pencil is information that Alec knows.
I like that when you hold up the pins, they just fall to the background. They just look like
Oh.
you're holding a gun. But no, I think that's really smart. I noticed all you taking notes, which is awesome. I wish my players took notes. I did not take notes because I was gonna have it this week, but I wasn't able to get it. I'm taking the recordings that Chris has, and I'm trying to edit them into little recaps of last time, which requires me to watch them a couple of times.
Yeah.
So I generally have a good idea. I would have gotten this one done this week, but so I've been busy.
Nice.
But
Sweet.
but hopefully next week I'll actually have one. I'll probably just do one for this session, and I'll probably just add in stuff that happened in session 1 to it, because I was already mostly done with that. The hardest part, would you believe, is getting the goddamn audio into a separate channel. Like, because I'm trying to do the thing where you leave the audio off and then switch the video. It's a soft cut, really nice, and makes it move so much better. Hard as hell to do, because you have to get a separate program, separate the audio and video, and then you have to go on about it. It takes forever. It's just annoying.
Okay,
Right on.
well, hey
Right on.
guys, thanks so
Well,
much. I had a great time.
Yeah. Yeah,
Yep.
absolutely. Thank you. Sorry we went over time, Scott. Hope everything's all right.
Oh, we're good. We're good. I kind of figured that
Anybody-
this little part was built into. So yeah.
Sweet.
Okay.
All right.
All right,
Everybody-
guys.
Going, everybody.
Yeah.
See you
Okay.
later.